Okay, so finally, at last, after 7 hours of talking, you might get bored. I told you since the beginning you must be patient in chapter 1 because it's all about talking, it's all about theoretical, it's all about concepts, just talking about concepts. In the past, it has been until now 7 hours of recording for chapter 1. All you're talking about is just concepts. You just use your pencil and some notes and scratch, and that's it. So when will we start the practical side? When will we practice labs by ourselves? We will just start right now with an introduction to the Cisco iOS systems. I will not talk a lot about the Cisco iOS system theoretically. I will show you in practice, and you should be helpful to understand it better than talking theoretical. Okay, Cisco iOS system is the general system, the general software or operating system that Cisco uses in most of its devices, mainly in the Cisco CCNA certificate. All the devices you will deal with will have the Cisco iOS system. All the network, the standard enterprise network devices will use the iOS system. Once we reach the wireless devices, we will check the softwares that are used in the wireless devices and the WLAN systems. Okay, so some of the most important notes is, firstly, this is the back. These pictures, these snapshots do tell you how do the back of any Cisco device, maybe a router or a switch, looks like. Okay, maybe in the 2009, this is 2960. This is a switch, and this one I believe is taken from the 1800, which is a Cisco router. So in both cases, in all of Cisco devices, you will always see a port, this port and this port, that has a blue label or a blue name that is called a console port. So to access inside any Cisco device that you will be dealing with in the CCNA exam, in practicing CCNA exam, or in your real network in the company or in the data center or in whatever light gear you buy or you'll face in the upcoming, mainly you will find devices that all of them comes with a port on their back that is called a console port. Some old model do have this port on the front. You will find it a console port. You will not get confused. It always come in the light blue color. Okay, so this port is the port that you will use to connect your cable or your computer to it, so you can access to whatever Cisco device, to manage it, configure it, change it, explore it, and know whatever happens inside it for the initial config. After that, for access it to troubleshoot. After, maybe you can access it to edit or change your configuration, delete or add some new config. Whatever you would like to do will happen only by using your computer and extending some cable to the router or the switch and connect this cable to the blue console cable. Okay, this is half of the procedure for connecting. I'm sorry, it's not half, it's maybe 1/3 of the procedure. Okay, which is connected to the console. What should I connect to the console port? Another thing that is called a console cable. It will always, or mainly, most of the companies, more than 70% of the companies, do manufacture the console cable, the special cable that connects to the router and to your computer. This end to the router, you will see it's an RJ45. In case you have watched the cabling chapter video, you will understand this. Okay, it's an RJ45 to connect in this way. From the other way, it's either to be a DB9 connector, be connected to some old laptops and computers, or in the modern computers, DB9 will be missed, so we will need to use an RJ45 to a USB connector. Okay, so in both cases you will find a light blue port that should be connected with a light blue cable, and on the other end it will be connected to your computer or a laptop or whatever end device that you are using to configure the device. So my computer, a light blue cable called console cable connected to a light blue port called the console port on the router or switch that I want to configure. Then next, what should I do? What should I use to access inside this router and see inside it? I will use some of the ports, the COM ports from my side connected to the router, either using a software. This is a software. This is not mainly installed inside the Microsoft Windows or Linux or whatever. Okay, so it's either I use some of the well-known common softwares like an application called Terraterm. You can Google it and install it. Also the PuTTY is also known. I mostly use PuTTY when I connect directly. Okay, gives a lot more options than Terraterm. Terraterm is good, it's not a problem. I used only Terraterm when I studied previously my CCNA a few years ago. Okay, so it's either use two of these most known applications. In these applications, you will choose to connect to the device that is connected to your COM port. So it will tell you your COM port is connected using a cable that has two endings, which is a USB to a DB. Would you like to a USB? I'm sorry, to a console. Would you like to choose this port? You will press yes. After this, you'll press OK. After this, it will show you the main interface of the Cisco device. Okay, what is there in this main interface? All of these things that will be applied. I will no longer talk about it in theoretically. We will jump directly into a real device. Okay, so to provide a real device, one device will not be enough for networking or for a complete map to study or to give you all the ideas that you will need to learn. Okay, or you need to practice. You will minimum maybe need like 2 up to 4 routers. You will need from 2 up to 8 switches. You will need about 16 PCs, even maybe 2 PCs or computers. You will need a server, of course. You will need some telephones, some wireless devices. You will need some firewall. All of these equipments are required in your studying for the CCNA exam. Having some commands to read it by yourself or to just acknowledge them will never be enough. Never do so. Okay, just like mathematics, you need to apply this by your own self. You need to configure it by your hand, repeat it again until you become a ninja in configuring commands, configuring network devices, routers, switches, and whatever other device that you are practicing on. So to accomplish this, you will need maybe like from 8 up to 20 or 30 real devices to connect it together. This is really hard to be achieved. This requires a huge amounts of money. Even buying some obsolete devices in the market, you will find maybe some tricks in the way or some maybe some delay in them. It will delay your procedure because you will need to find the quantity, the suitable quantity. That will be a problem. The cables providing electricity, power supply, all of these will be really a big problem. So to solve this, some vendors in the world did produce some solutions, others did not. Unfortunately, we will have some courses in the future for other companies, not just Cisco, but unfortunately, not all companies do give you full materials to learn. Cisco do give you whatever you would like to learn, what their technologies are and how do their devices operate and work. Okay, they will give you everything you need. So when it comes to the exam, you have an entire solid idea about what's happening, what's going on, everything theoretical and practical, okay, in both sides. As an example of this, besides having all these resources available and allowed for you to study theoretically, to study in a real practice labs and do configure by yourself using the concept of hands-on labs, Cisco do produce a simulator, okay, or as some call it an emulator. Maybe there is a language difference between them, okay, which is an application that virtually, just like in the previous videos when we talked about virtual machines, virtually you can install and have the whatever amount you need from network devices. You can connect them just like a real connection in real life, and the whatever type of connection or topology you would like. So after that, from a single point of view, you can access all of these devices, configure it, the configuration, the emulating, the results, will be 100% just like what you will face in the real life. Okay, so as an example of this, Cisco do offers you what is called, it is manufactured and made by Cisco, it's the Cisco Packet Tracer application or program. The Cisco Packet Tracer, this is a very important program. Recently it was used for CCNA, entire CCNA study, for the entire CCNA security study, CCNA routing and switching, the old one, and the CCNA security, and some of the CCNP studies. It wasn't enough for the entire CCNP studies because you will need some change in the behavior and some other devices that are not available in the Packet Tracer, but mostly it will be enough to accomplish all the CCNA routing and switching, CCNA security, and the CCNP routing and switching. For now, with the new CCNA, as long as we are using routers and switches, and in case just we needed some firewalls, all of these are available in the Packet Tracer. For wireless devices, we will see in chapter 6, okay, of this course. In case the Packet Tracer is enough for wireless devices, we will study using it. In case we needed other emulators or other methods just to apply the hands-on labs on the wireless devices, we will do our best to offer it by that time. Okay, so just to start with this Cisco Packet Tracer, without talking so much, you will need to do some steps, which is, first you will need to visit the Network Academy of Cisco, which is netacad.com/courses/Packet Tracer, or just Google the term Packet Tracer in Google, and the first result will be, this is a T, Packet Tracer, and the first result that will Google shows you is the Packet Tracer from the Net Academy. You will need to be enrolled in the Packet Tracer. Cisco do offer Packet Tracer entirely free, no extra charges, don't worry. After enrolling in the Packet Tracer, what will happen? Okay, I will be asked to, let's download this. Okay, I will be asked, take the notes away. Cisco will offer me a Cisco Packet Tracer course that has a length of 10 hours. It will be entirely free. It's for beginners because it starts from scratch. It will tells you every bit of detail about the Packet Tracer. It will treat you like you have never known about Packet Tracer. Okay, it will be an online course, not to be downloadable. It will be an online course. You can watch it through the website. Available in 2 languages, English, I believe this is also Russian. Okay, so sign up. After you sign up and make your account with Cisco, you will have your user and password, and once you have the link to download Packet Tracer and the course, firstly Cisco will offer you the 10-hour course. Once you are involved in the course and start studying, Cisco will offer you on the same page a link to download the Packet Tracer on your operating system. After downloading the Packet Tracer, Cisco will ask one last thing before logging into the Packet Tracer. When you double click on the icon, they will ask for the user and the password. In the down corner, you will find 2 options. Either you are a guest login or a real user login. Don't use the guest, it has half of the functions. Use the full user login. Assign your user and password that you have created with the Network Academy. After this, it will give you the entire topology and technologies of the Packet Tracer, which will be this method. Okay, it will be this way. So this is the main interface of the Packet Tracer. Here you can edit some files that we will talk about later, and here are some other functions that you will use while building your network. Okay, down here you have these items or these fields of items. Each one, if you have previously watched the videos, you will know that by now that this is the icon of the router. Okay, this is the icon of the router. Once you choose it, you'll have all these models of routers: model 4321, 1941, 2901, 2911, a lot of models. Each one of them has some small differentiations between some commands applied or functions supported in the device, and other differences like how many ports do this device come already with. Okay, some routers, maybe you can grab it in the Packet Tracer and you find that it has only 2 ports. Okay, you can use only 2 ports, but it has an empty slot, and there's an option for a slot that has maybe 2, 4, up to 8 ports, and you can grab it and install it in the router. Now you have a complete, maybe from 4 up to 10 ports in this router. Others do come maybe from the beginning with 4 ports and you cannot modify it. Maybe some come with 4 ports and can be modified. Maybe some come with 2 ports and cannot be modified. Some of them come with the serial ports, which are now obsolete completely. We will not use it. Okay. Others come with a fast Ethernet port, and you can add some gigabit Ethernet port. It's a GI in Cisco. Some come only with the fast Ethernet. Others come only with a GI interfaces port. All of these variations are the cause that you have all these models of routers. Okay. As well as we have this icon. You can see, check the name. The name is switches that is appeared. Okay. All these models of switches. These models that start with number 3, like 3560 and 3650, these are, as described, a multi-layer switch. This is very important to use in this course. Other like 2960 is an ordinary layer 2 switch. Okay, you have just see, let me delete this. Yes, what I have done is just one click on the router, another click on the topology in wherever I would like, and I just had installed my router. This is a real Cisco router. Okay, maybe I go to the switches, maybe I need one switch and I need a multi-layer switch, and that's it, I got it. Okay, other things, you have hubs, some old devices that we will not need. Maybe there are wireless devices. Let's see if they are enough for our course to complete the requirements or not. We have firewalls, 5506 and 5505. These are very important. There is the WAN, which is, you know, the icon of the WAN was a cloud, okay, to connect through the internet. Maybe another multi-cluster, some special folders. This is very important. These are the connections field. Okay, you have here what's called, okay, just down there, can't take the mouse off. Okay, just down there in the middle you have the name of this connection, which is called the automatically choose connection type, just to avoid any mismatch in the connection between devices. That will automatically detect the connection to make your network operate. This is a console cable. We have just talked about console cables, a copper straight through cabling or a crossover, some fiber optic cables, some phone cables used for IP phones, coaxial ports. These are all, these coaxial and serials are old cables that we don't use anymore. Some octal cables, IoT, and a USB cable also is available. And mostly, maybe more than 90% of our connection, we will, in our labs, we will use the automatically choose connection type. One click on it is enough. Now I will click on the ISR, move my cursor, my mouse to the other device I would like to connect to. Just see the amount of interfaces that are available in this switch. Okay, all of these are fast Ethernet ports, the first 24, and the last 2 are gigabit Ethernet 0/1 and 0/2. Just a click and it will connect automatically together. Okay, which ports are now connected together, I have no idea, so I will go to edit, maybe options, I'm sorry, preferences. After preferences, okay, align logical in the old devices. Just let me grab this to the right. Always show port labels in logical workspace. Yes, that's enough. Now I can see that we got it to here. Okay, now I see that GIG, which is a gigabit Ethernet interface 000, is connected to the FA000. This will not work, and we will change it later because we need to connect an FA to an FA or a gig to a gig, and that is another thing to be concerned. Okay, so you have 2 options to understand packet tracer. Either some of the fast tips and undetailed tips that we have just talked about packet tracer. Okay, because at first on the packet tracer you have the file, which you can, after you build your network and configure all of your network, you can save the lab and you can reopen it in any other time. Okay, just use the save command. You will save your labs in whatever place that you would like to by default it's saved in my PC, in my directory, in the Backtracer 722 version in saves, and this is the format pkt. Okay, I can save it, I can reopen it later. Okay, just cancel this. Okay, reopen it later and keep modifying and working on the lab. There are some copy and paste, undo and redo commands while we are working, some preferences, user values. All of these tools and options are talked about, or explained in detail by Cisco in their 10-hour length course. Okay, but what we will need in this course will be established from scratch. We will build the labs together, we will get inside them together. Okay, and we will connect all the labs together, configure, troubleshoot, build and unbuild and collapse all our labs. Okay, so in the next video we will start and jump into our devices in detail. We will do our first lab, okay, and test it and verify it using some tools. Okay, stay connected on the upcoming video, and thank you.